We have people who are now redefining what a starseed is to make themselves, and it's a self-important move. And so this is agreed upon by all of us who are in the spiritual community. Spiritual community, shamans, druidesses, druids, what else? On that level of consciousness, shamans, of course. I don't want to leave anything out or anyone out. Let me go ahead and share the live. If you can share the live, that'd be awesome, because this needs to be shared, if you don't mind. I rarely ask you guys to share the live, but when I do, it's because something has come up that needs to be, re-explained, if you will. So starseeds, what are starseeds? Starseeds are souls that were made in a different dimension. Some starseeds were made in the 14th dimension, 9th dimension. There are multiple dimensions. 18th dimension. You get the picture, right? They're souls. They're energetic light orbs. All souls are that. But some souls were made, okay, before planet Earth was habitable. In other words, many of us are the Anunnaki who created the humanoid species as we know it. Does that make sense? In other words, we were either that, or we witnessed it, and we knew it was wrong, especially the way some of these characters and their agendas behind why they chose to create humanoids. As you well know, there's a concept of slavery behind that. There's concepts of all kinds of weird, fucked up shit that happened. Some of it was good, in that there were some wonderful beings, Thoth being one of the Anunnakis who came here to do what he did. He was against and opposed the agenda to use humanoids for slave labor, and as you've heard many, many times, for gold. So what I'm going to say to you is that starseeds are souls made before there was a planet Earth as we know it, or as we've known it 10,000, 500,000 years ago. We were not inhabiting planet Earth. We were inhabiting other realms, other dimensions. In the beginning, in formless, energetic, light, sentient beings that we were. And then eventually, because we wanted to experience the form, I mean, look, you've been at the beach, right? And you felt the bliss of brine and sea spray hitting your face. You've been up on the top of a mountain or through the woods and felt breezes and inhaled beautiful perfumes from honeysuckles and orange blossoms and roses and wild wisteria, things of that nature. So you know why you would want to be an experience as a soul, as a electricity. You'd want to embody, slip into a physical body to really enjoy, to essentially enjoy these things, including to connect with your beloved in ways that you can never connect. And don't get me wrong, there are multiple ways to have massive intimacy with another sentient being, another light being, right? But starseeds are that. And then from planets, dimensions, planets, we incarnated onto planet Earth. And there was a point where we incurred massive karma as we fell from 5D, Atlantis being one. Lemuria, we would have been in 6D in Lemuria. And when we destroyed some of us, I hate to say, but we're not all fucking walking on water. We're not all, we weren't all genteel, sweet, loving beings. We were maniacal, power hungry. We've all done it. We've all been there. And surely we'll never do that again. Trust me on that. But this reality that that we enjoyed when we came into planet Earth, the pastimes of Earth, you could call it, the heavenly times of Earth, was wonderful. And then, of course, some shit went down that put us in the position we are at today, which is amnesia. We started cycling into birth, rebirth, dharma, and so forth. Okay, and various collapses, implosions within our soul's light happened because we went into more and more density, actually believing in the dogma of some of the outside environments that were breeding us and raising us to believe in, all babies are born with sin, shit like that, and 1,500 years of that shit, and yeah, that would mess anyone up, much less create massive trauma, amnesia, self-loathing, lack of self-worth, and now, yeah, you're in 3D. So now most of you who are listening to this are in 4D, means you're fully aware, conscious, and know that there's something more to this story of the lives that you've spanned across dimensions and planets and so forth. That's a star seed. There are new souls that have been born. New souls meaning, what does that mean? It could be, well, let's compare. So let's say you're 100 million years old, okay? Let's go higher. You're a billion years old. I'm not being funny when I say that. I'm quite literally saying that. And then you've got earthlings. And earthlings are souls that were made, okay? And their first incarnations, and many of their incarnations were on planet Earth, okay? And that is something that makes you an earthling. Now, there's a person that tagged me on, and I'm not here to bully or blast anyone, but there's this young man, which a lot of young people have a massive fucking knowledge. So it's, when I say young man, it's not to denigrate youth at all. There are souls that are in 3-year-old bodies that are much wiser than I am, just on the side note, just so we get that straight. Okay, moving on. And unfortunately, this person now has decided, which is all about self-importance, the difference between star seeds, and his premise is that all star seeds, it's a DNA thing. Well, it's not a fucking DNA thing. It's not. Many of us don't have, we have now, by now, some of us, not all of us, have some of the genetics of what you would call the humanoids that were created by the Anunnaki millions of years ago, right, to populate this planet in a new form. There's been different types of humanoids, as you all know, and so his premise is that a star seed is literally all about the DNA. That all human beings are star seeds, and that souls that have been on other planets are what he calls soul star or star souls, whatever, which again is self-importance. And I know this because when I looked at how much he was charging for his fees, right, he was charging massive money. And let me just give you another premise of things that you recognize as a starseed. Starseeds don't do this shit for money. The work they do out here, they make it as approachable as possible, while also having to pay their bills. They have a humble life. And they are healers. Some starseeds will be, they're shamans, and they'll give you a 2-hour session because they're not doing readings, they're not downloading, but they're giving you sessions on what to do and things of that nature for about $109. There's starseeds that will charge you for a Reiki session for a half hour. They'll charge you like $25-$30, and they're Reiki masters. And then you have some that will charge you $250. I hate to say that, okay? But there are other ways to earn a living. And so some starseeds will have a what is it called? A sliding scale. And it's an honor system. So if you needed help, and the person on the starseed healer on the other side is actually there to help the collective, right? And you tell them, listen, and don't bullshit them, because it's karma. Make sure that you know that, okay? Don't take advantage of that. I don't think none of you will, but in case this goes on YouTube and someone listens, yeah, that's not the time to start, pulling out your coupon book. This is an honor system. So there's some people that literally don't have it. They don't. But you have to understand that the energy of money has to be exchanged in some way. So that a session that would be $250, right? Let's just say, okay? The person takes it down all the way down to $75. And then allows you to make payments on it. That's a starseed. I'm just being straight up with you, okay? Starseeds are here to help the collective. They're not here to make $100 million. They're not even here to make $2 million. So when you look at people telling you about new ideas, like, starseeds are this, it's all, genetic, and it's all biology, and it's all DNA, that is a crock of shit. Because it's the soul that makes you a starseed. It's where you come from when you originate. So some of you originate and connect to Lyra, right? You're Lyrans, Pleiadians, which is part of that constellation. Many of us are really attracted to that, but we also have some that really connect to Syrian who many of you are Syrian ambassadors. One of the most famous Syrian ambassadors I know of personally, meaning I know of him, I don't know him personally, is Adam Apollo. Look him up, Adam Apollo. He will speak about energy, and he'll talk about his Syrian past lives as a Syrian, his original incarnations in Syria. And there are so many people that are finally realizing that we are the disclosure statement we've been waiting for. We are. Okay, so there's nothing to fear. There are some dark forces that do some really fucking shitty things in terms of abductions, in terms of testing us, testing on us, and things of that nature. And there are many theories behind why and how. And this one theory with the Greys is that they are us in the future. I still don't buy that 100%. I really don't. But one of the great writers who actually knows her shit, her name is Elena. She's French. Danan, Danaan. I just bought her book. I've had it for a while here. It's called Gift from the Universe, Extraterrestrial Contact and Guide of Alien Races. She's an amazing, she knows her shit. If anyone knows what she's talking about, it's her. First book I ever read about alien abduction was Contact, and not Contact, that was Carl Sagan. Communion was the first book I ever read. That came out in the 70s. So I've been reading about this for a long time. And of course, knowledge is not just reading other people's theories, but it's also getting your own downloads. So when you start having downloads of your past life on another planet, then that's big. Please don't gaslight yourself. But going back to this person who's decided that it's a good idea to break down starseeds and confuse the fucking conversation even more. You know, it's like everyone finally, oh yeah, I know what a starseed is. It means that when I first was made as a soul, that my first incarnations were on other planets. I didn't even know about planet Earth. I never went. It was not my first home. And that's why I'm homesick. So when you have somebody coming in saying, oh yeah, no, that's not it. That starseeds is a DNA thing because we were all created. And soul star is, it's splitting fucking hairs. What's dangerous about that is it's confusing to people. Because no, you're not all starseeds. You're not. Because some of you are earthlings. And I'm not speaking to you who are here on this life directly. This is me speaking to you in YouTube as well. Some of you have never been incarnated in another planet. That's why you're having a hard time when some of us tell you, yeah. I did a hypnotherapy session with a young woman who lives in Costa Rica. And I'll never forget that. Never. Okay. She's looking at, so I usually say, look at your hands. Tell me, what do you see? And she said, well, I see kind of an orange skin. It looks like polka dots, like a leopard. I go, like fur? She goes, no, like skin. I go, how many fingers do you have? And she paused, hesitated, was working it out in her head. She lied. I knew it as soon as she did it. She went, I have 5 fingers. I went, uh-huh. After the session, I asked her, tell me, how many fingers did you really have? She said 3. It didn't make sense. I go, sweetie pie, none of it makes sense if it's your first time seeing something you experienced. Do you really think people want to go into hypnotherapy and see fucking 3 fingers? Do you really think that they're actively going, oh yeah, I'm going to see myself looking like this? No, these are people having real experiences going, holy fuck, what is this, right? What's going on? A famous couple, a black and white couple, interracial couple in the 1950s were being abducted. I forgot their name. I could look it up and then my fucking live would pause for a second. You guys might think I just got shut down. But anyway, black and white couple that went into hypnotherapy for trauma, and it's on video. A movie was made about it, and it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And they were being abducted and tested on, and there was massive trauma around it. So you do have alien races doing some fuckery to us. There's no doubt about it. But we also have some of the more, I'll just use the word angelic beings to give you an idea. They're not really angels, okay, in the way we know Archangel Michael and Metatron and so forth. But they're good, beautiful Pleiadians and Syrians, and who are still in their original form when they show themselves to you, and they will take you to other realms. If you're lucky, you'll actually learn your true spiritual name. It will be given to you. So I really want you guys to, some of you who are having these past life experiences on other planets, really document that. There are races that that Elena Denon does not mention in this book, not because she's removing them or whatever. It's because some of us were on planets that probably were destroyed. But I know that I've had past lives on planets that are never mentioned in any of the alien YouTube channel, Starseed, whatever. Okay, they're not mentioned. They're not mentioned in her book either. She mentions a lot of reptilians, a lot of insectoid type, what is aliens for the like, and humanoid that are more humanoid in connecting with us visually, that is. But I know I had a past life where I was definitely not a humanoid. You could say I was a sloth. Now, and I'm not being funny when I say that, literally. I was on a planet, it's a long story, but it was being downloaded to me when I was at the beach in Malibu. And I was going back and forth in opening my eyes and seeing the ocean, my husband playing with our son, and then the warmth of the sun on my face. It went on for 15 fucking minutes. And I would close my eyes and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not even a human. I'm not even a humanoid. I'm not even what I would recognize. Well, years later, after this went on for 15 minutes, closing my eyes, boom, I'm on this planet. It's moon, dark moons, light moons, water, dark planet, bluish, various tones of blues and black. And I was very happy, very relaxed. Well, years later, during the COVID lockdown, which I wish the fuck I had the video, Sasha Stone did a show, if you will, a live show on the various sentient beings on outer planets, and one of them was Sloth-like, and they have a name. And I've been looking, and when he was so against the lockdown that all his beautiful videos on starseeds and different aliens and testing of energetic frequency, of love, peace, and so forth, he was working with amazing, brilliant minds all over the world, but he was definitely outspoken against the lockdown and COVID and all kinds of stuff, and all of his shit was taken down, and I'm sure lost. They probably didn't have a backup or whatever. So, but that came up. Now, I've yet to see that in her books, but she certainly has a lot of content that you might actually connect with very well. There are millions of different races, species, okay, across the universes. And we should know that. It's not like, I don't know if you're a fan of Gene Roddenberry's work. The man was brilliant, but it's not like he didn't show us a taste of it through the lens of, the eyes of the eyes of connecting with different types of humanoid species. If you remember, Captain Kirk fell in love with, what was she, a green woman or blue woman, or was she a red woman? I forgot, but she so he's shown, this has been talked about, this has been downloaded for since the 60s. And if you've never seen Gene Roddenberry's 1960s Star Treks, I urge you to see the old shows, because you might think of it as campy right now at this point with technology, but the wisdom is fantastic. It still resonates. What else can I tell you? So Soul Star, I don't understand what this guy's talking about. I'm just being straight up. I'm sorry. I don't understand what he's talking about, because if you look up in Google and look up in any of your books that you've bought on starseeds, we all agree. We all agree what it means. Okay? Happy birthday, Angie. I did see that, but I wanted to finish my thought. Happy birthday. And let me see what else. Okay, so I'm just looking for your messages and anything else that you want to share with me. Hi, Mia. It's good to see you. Let me see. So it's really not a long conversation. It's just know that not everyone has the blood type that heralds supposedly starseeds. Supposedly, it doesn't work that way. It's the soul. We've got to stop thinking it's a physical manifestation. Okay, it doesn't present itself physically. It's a soul, and the soul steps into this lineage, whether it's African American or African, whether it's Native American, whether it's Aborigines, whether it's European, whether it's Irish, Scottish, whether it's Japanese, Chinese, whether it's Taiwanese, Indonesian, these bloodlines are one aspect that we have to, step in to heal for the individual lineage, for ourselves personally, and for the collective. The reverberation of the 100 monkey theory is in play now. That's number one. But it's the soul that molds the face. It's the soul that transports this body from here to there with a philosophy. And unfortunately, it's the false ego, the monkey mind, that can throw you off track. But you see, it's the soul. It's not the DNA. It's not that we haven't been manufactured across the planets, right? And across this planet, by the way. That's not how it works. In other words, the physical aspect is not what makes us who we are. In our entirety. Our entirety is not controlled by these bodies that are temporary bodies. That's something we need now. Is it controlled by the monkey mind to give us the illusion that everything we are is right here presented in these bodies? Yes, and that is an illusion. And that's what we're learning how not to do anymore. We're learning how to breach through the veneer, the thin membrane, if you will, and we're breaking out and being rebirthed in our truest, most powerful sense of ourselves. That's what's so extraordinary about our ascension. But starseeds are that. And there are earthlings, and there's nothing wrong with earthlings. Earthlings will eventually, as they go through the ascension of raising themselves out of 3D into 4D into 5D, will actually start having incarnations on other planets. Makes sense, right? Doesn't it? Just because your lineage is from France, and you've lived 2 generations in this country, it doesn't stop you from being this energy of your source. So let's say your first incarnation, you were Lyran, you're still a Lyran. You're just having the human experience on this 3D planet. That truth will never end. It is part and parcel of your origin. And it is not going to get diluted to the level that maybe people are thinking by being in, say, now your soul is now embodied in a Chinese body or a Japanese body. You, as a Lyran, are still a Lyran. Does that make sense? You will always be a Lyran. Do you understand? And the experiences of a Lyran makes you multicultural. In other words, now you've gone through being a Syrian and an Andromedan or whatever. You can incarnate, but your origins don't get diluted by the human experience unless you allow it. And dogma, unfortunately, has been a problem for all of us through many things. But I have to go, unfortunately. But I hope this makes sense. I hope I explain myself well enough so that you guys can understand what you are. Those of you who are starseeds, you know who you are, what you are. And starseeds are here to raise the frequency. They have been trying again and again. Unfortunately, my last thing that I will say before I part is that masculine starseeds are having a very, very hard time, and they are harming themselves, and they are feeling like they're going crazy, more so than the feminine, okay? And that is something that we need to take care of each other. If you recognize a starseed, I don't care if the kid's 3, I don't care if the person's 83. Be there for them. Console them. Tell them that, try to have these dialogues, esoteric dialogues about other life forms, other planets, other realities, only because they need to know that what they're thinking covertly in the shadows can be pulled out. It's okay. Come out of the closet, my friends, and you don't have to hide. You're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not alone. We feel it too. We remember it too, and we're homesick as well. And we're homesick, some of us, to planets that will never be again until we collectively heal ourselves to generate the ability to bring those planets back to life, manifesting them back to life. There's an amazing Luc Besson movie. Oh, God, my God, I wish I could remember. I wish I had my computer in front of me right now because I'd look it up for you. It says, it's called Something in the Valerians. And it's about aliens who are completely destroyed. Their planet's completely destroyed. And they have a little animal that's a generator, and they have a pearl, and they're able to regenerate their planet. In a way, Andromedans, Syrians, and some Pleiadians who have lost their planet, we can bring them back. But we can't bring them back unless we awaken to our own truths, and we can manifest them back better than ever. The darkness that has taken our planets out, the darkness that is still attacking. A lot of you are having issues with being attached. You're getting attachments. Many of you may have had dreams, flying dreams, where you were being chased by men in black or dark figures. Know that the reason why this was happening was because as a starseed, as a powerhouse, you came in and they had already, what is the word I want to use? They'd already been notified of your incarnation, and they knew you were coming to do massive work. Okay, so as a child, what could they do? It's kind of like the movie The Monsters, the Monster, I believe, Monster Inc. But it's more vile than that, because when you go into flying dreams, astral dreaming, right, and you're having an amazing time, and suddenly there's something chasing you. You may have had that experience as a child. Maybe not. That's not everyone's story, by the way. That doesn't preclude you from being special. But I know for a fact that I've exchanged notes with my brothers and sisters, and that is something we've all shared in childhood, where we were being chased by, I'll use the word, men in black. And we would fly away. But there was this fear that was seated in us, an unspoken fear that was brought to us by outside forces. Because what does fear do? Well, it clogs your energy, it clogs your ability to get massive downloads and directions and directives. And you're always asking, well, when will I know what my mission is? Well, there you go. That's part of it. So you need to ask yourself, where did this fear become? Where did it start? This fear of you staying behind in the shadows, this fear of not exposing your light to the world. Where did it begin? Forget this moment. Go all the way back to the beginning of you remembering a fear, and go there. Was it through your dreams? Was it when you were awake? Where did it begin? And heal that. Heal it so that it no longer shackles you from your divinity. Divinity meaning your incredible expansive power as a multidimensional light being to do extraordinary healing work. Just one. We just need one of you. And if we could have one at a time light up, as you light yourself up, you will light another, any other. Anyway, sending you much love. Namaste, be well. Take care.